You do know that neither the corporation nor any agent or representative of the corporation is at this time authorized to sell stock in the state of Oklahoma.
That is correct.
Since coming to Oklahoma on the X1 project, how much money have you accepted on this project?
I don't know, sir.
You do not have any records of OTC Enterprises in this city?
To the best of my knowledge, the SEC has our records.
Do you have a bank account in Oklahoma City?
Yes, sir.
When was it opened?
I do not remember the exact date.
Was it? Now, in the event that I had given you $100 and the stock does not become available, who is to give me my money back, you or the corporation?
I would, sir.
As I say, 3 months ago, we were contacted, we made our plans, and we set our show, and we arrived, and may I say, yesterday, there were not as many people as there are here right now. In fact, I'm thinking of doing the show right here. So my point was, if the very wonderful club, the Kiwanis Club, who sponsored this, were not able to get more than a handful of people at Taft yesterday, I felt that something should be done about it, and perhaps at a later date they should do it and do it right, and then I would be very happy to appear. And we're very sorry that we didn't get to see even the little handful that was there. But there just wasn't enough time to wait for 14,000 people to be told that we were in town. They had 3 months to do it, and I'm sorry they didn't do it because I think this is very important.
Mr. Rogers, a number of strange items turned up in the audit of 3 years in the McCurtain County Commissioner's cash funds. What were some of these items which are not strictly legal?
It'd be the use of highway funds for which are restricted to highway purposes for general fund purposes. The major item in the whole thing is a payment for personal services and the distribution of commodities to welfare clients. And that is a growing item, with starting off in 1956 with 3,462.25, increasing to 4,867.04 the following year, and then in the third year examined, which is the fiscal year 1958, the amount is 5,421.59.
When was the last audit of the McCurtain County finances conducted?
Prior to this, it was brought up to June 30, 1955.
Is it customary to let so much time elapse between audits?
It's difficult to audit counties regularly which have an inadequate appropriation out of the general fund. You'll notice that this report deals strictly and only with the highway money, due to the fact that there's no general fund appropriation available for examination expense. The county has to pay the expense of the examination, see.
On the advice of my attorney, I declined to answer on the grounds that the question would tend to incriminate me.
This receipt certifies your option to purchase the equivalent in shares of OTC Enterprises stock at $1 each when available for public offering. Does that terminology give the holder of this the right to that stock when it becomes available?
The answer is no, because there is no certainty that it will ever become available.
In other words, if I invested or if I gave you $100 and you gave me a deposit receipt such as this, then in the event the stock ever becomes available, if I will give you another $100, I can get my stock. Is that correct?
No, sir.
He reported that he had already talked to 35 of these men and that they were greatly interested in this project. Did you remember making that report?
I couldn't remember it as essentially that way, no, sir.
Do you remember it at all?
In the manner in which it is worded, no, sir, I do not remember it.
You don't remember anything even resembling that statement?
Not just that way, no, sir.
But my question was that no one connected with the patent office has ever seen the machine itself operate.
Not in its entirety, no, sir.
And so it is repetitious to conclude this phase of it. You are the only man who has ever seen it fly.
To my knowledge.
Well, what exactly do you hope to accomplish, and what are you striking for?
Well, about the only thing that's left now is a contract. We've agreed to everything else, and I think everything was settled with the exception of the signing of a contract.
I understand that there is maybe some endangerment of life to the non-running of some of the machinery and air conditioning. Is this true?
Well, I really don't think so, because we know that they're uncomfortable and all that, but you might have a heart patient or two that would be better off if they had air conditioning, but as a whole, I don't believe it is. I think it's just more of an uncomfort on the employees than anything else.
Our recommendation of $89 million was based upon what we considered was a fair expectation of funds. Now, we've gone over that by some $2 million plus. So any agreement on it has to be subject to the fact that, subject to its being there to appropriate.
Well, has everyone agreed on that reservation?
Well, it certainly is a well-known fact in the discussions that that's my feeling about it. Nobody has any doubt about that. Now, whether or not they all want to go along with it, I couldn't tell you.
Well,